What it do, chat? It's your boy Big Matt with Chosen One Chats, back at you with another banger. And today, yes, I'm at my childhood park where we grew up and had lots of memories. Right in front of me is where we played Smear the Queer after school every day and even ran a bunch of football games. And I'm just throwing it back just because it kind of, it kind of tells a story to me, like, where I came from, all that stuff, and my upbringing, the good times, the bad times, all that stuff. And feels good. But today I want to talk about how they rolled a stone to run over you or something you loved, somebody you loved, but it ended up on the way down hitting a little rock, and that rock turned that stone into a different direction, and it ended up running somebody they loved over or something they loved over instead. And sometimes it made a U-turn and then ran them over. But talk about this because I actually heard a story. I'm not gonna put any names out there, but supposedly somebody who I know rolled a tire down a hill and did not care about what was going. Hold on, I think I saw something on my lens. Yep, I was right. Come on, fly. I don't want to hurt you. All right, it's gone. Rolled a tire down the hill and did not care about what was going to stop it from rolling. And you would not believe it. Supposedly, on the way down, the tire turned and then flew right into this guy's car. This is legit a real story. His car was parked on the side. He rolls it down a hill, did not care about what was going to stop this tire, what it was going to run into, and it turned and smacked his car on the way down. This is why I got this download, because someone was telling me the story and I was kind of rolling. I'm like, this is what people do all the time, but instant karma turned and hit his own property. And the damage was very, very bad. I think this is funny because that just shows karma is real. A lot of you guys may be like, oh, karma sounds so spiritual, sounds so woo-woo. But let me tell you, it's not just karma. It's another way of saying karma is cause and effect. And what you put out there is what you get back. What you reap is what you sow. So if you plant a pineapple tree, you're not going to grow apples. I don't even know how pineapples are planted, so do not come at me, guys. But if you plant a pear tree, you are not going to get apples. If you plant an orange tree, you're not going to get grapes. So if you roll that tire expecting to hurt maybe you're not expecting somebody, but you're not thinking about it, it's going to show you what it could do, what it could have done, but it's going to bounce back and affect you. I had a customer the other day. It was super hilarious. Here's another story time of an example. Karma isn't always a bad thing. You could reap good things too. Good karma. So I was called out to a job site where this guy, he was in the military. He basically did a remodel on someone's house. This someone was a colonel, and he does not really, he don't play that. So basically, he remodeled this colonel's bathroom. He's in the military himself, so I don't want to confuse you guys. He was in the military, but now he runs a a business that he'd been doing for 20 years, supposedly. We're going to keep the story short, though. So he goes and remodels his colonel's bathroom, but doesn't put plastic over the carpet that they were walking in and out over. And basically, he said, oh, the carpet was old anyways. And I was like, what do you guys spill? Hopefully you didn't spill paint. He's like, oh no, it's just dirt. The carpet was old anyways. Basically making the old colonel seem like he's a Karen, right? And I'm like, oh, like who's gonna be the Karen in this situation? So far, I thought it might have been the guy who's requesting him to fix the problem that he caused for not putting plastic down. I thought he might be the problem. I get there, I'm letting him know, hey, we don't guarantee the removal of stains because I'm a carpet cleaner. We don't guarantee the removal of stains. We just, if we throw the whole textbook at it and it don't come out, it's considered permanent. And the colonel's like, hey, if it don't come out, Scott's gonna be in some trouble. I'm like, ooh, hopefully not. Yeah, and legit, there was wear. There were old carpet. There was wear. I'm like, hey, this wear though, that's not gonna come out. He's like, yeah, I'm not concerned about the wear. I'm concerned about all these stains. And basically, okay. So he called us out, and basically he was like, it's just a walkway that we already cleaned the stairs, but the walkway following the stairs is where the stains are. And then I get there, and then the old colonel, who house it is like, hey, so here are the stains up the stairs. Like, he's pointing out stains on the stairs, and then the walkway once we get up the stairs. So I'm like, hold up, let me call the guy who called me out. And then I'm like, hey, he's pointing at the stairs. He's like, oh, I didn't know he wanted us to re-clean the stairs again, because I guess he tried to clean it himself and was hoping the colonel would be satisfied with it, but he really wasn't. So basically, he was like, yeah, I didn't know he wanted us to clean it over again. And then I'm like, yeah, well, I wasn't expecting us to be cleaning this much, Now we're adding on a whole staircase. And then he was like, so what, are you telling me it's gonna be more? I'm like doing the math, because we have a certain minimum. And I was like, we could make it work for that price, we could still do it. And then I didn't want to call him out in front of the customer, like, hey, do you want to get power scrubbing though? That's going to be additional. And then like he declines it in front of the customer, and then the customer in the back of his head is like, oh, well, he didn't get the best treatment for it. He should have, and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't want to ask him that in front of the colonel, because he was right there. So then I'm like, okay, I told him, yeah, we could do it for that price. And then we're like setting up and stuff, and my little brother's like, did you offer power scrubbing? I'm like, I didn't. He's like, come on, bro, like, we want to get these stains out. Like, that's gonna give it the best results of getting out, and if we don't get him out, then the colonel's gonna come after him and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I went outside. I'm like, hey, just before we start, I want to offer you power scrubbing. And then he starts shutting me down before he even lets me give him a price. He's like, oh, he starts going off. He's just like, listen, I'm trying to keep my cool this morning, and I've been in the military, and I've been doing this business for over 20 years, building it brick by brick, and I've been I'm like, hey, bro, like, I don't care what you're talking about. That's all cool and dandy, but it's only going to be $28 more. So what, you're going to charge me more now? Because he's getting butthurt because he already paid. I'm like, I mean, dude, it's just something I didn't want to necessarily mention in front of the customer, because me personally, I think the stain treatment by itself will be good enough. But if you want the very best results, we do have this. And then he's like, no, what you're gonna do, look, I'm military and that guy's a colonel, and we're not here to play games. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to take the money I already paid you, and you're gonna do the best job with that. I'm like, my little brother's like, just tell him okay. I'm like, All right, bro. Um, and then I hang up, and right away, me and little bro are like, we ain't doing power scrubbing for that guy. He's extremely rude. Maybe if he wasn't rude, we might have hooked him up. But he was being extremely rude and talking about, you're gonna do it, and I'll tell you what, I'll use you guys in the future, and you just do a good job this time. He was being rude. So basically, we're like, all right, he ain't getting nothing, right, except for stain treatment. He ain't getting power scrubbing. So we hit it with the stain treatment. And then, like I said, I figured that stain treatment would be good enough. So we did the stain treatment. All the stains came out. And basically, we finished up. And then the colonel's like, I bet you Scott's going to be real happy that you that you were able to get the stains out. And I'm like, yep. And basically, we were wrapping up, and we're like, hey, here's a card, and gave the colonel a card if he ever needs us again. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I really like you two. Comes out with $20 for each of us, me and my little bro. $40. That was almost double what we were gonna charge this guy extra for. Remember, we were gonna charge him $28 extra to do the power scrubbing. It's not double, but close to it, just in tips. And he's like, I really like you guys. And I'm like, bro, are you sure? Because you're military, you should be getting a discount. At least take one of these $20 back. He's like, nope, if I'll tear it up if you give it back to me. And we're like, all right, hey bro. He's like, yo, go get you some food and a beer. I'm like, okay, bet. Thank you so much. We really appreciate this. And yeah, it was so funny because we only charged the guy who booked us $84. The colonel damn near paid half the price just in tips for his gratitude of us doing the good work. And I feel like that was my good karma because I kept my cool. I could have easily been like, hey bro, I don't like the way you're talking to me. You're not gonna tell me what to do and be extremely rude at it just because you paid me already. If anything, I could have just sent you back your money and then left because I didn't like the disrespect. But I kept my cool. I was like, you know what? Let's do it, man. My little brother was on the same page as me, and we ended up getting our good karma. And we didn't hit him up after we're done. But basically, he didn't say thank you for getting the stains out or anything. Sorry for being you know what. He hasn't reached out. I'm like, hey, I'm glad you guys were able to help, and I'm happy that the colonel was, satisfied. But nothing. Didn't reach out saying thank you or anything after. It's all good though. I wasn't expecting it. But that's just another story of good karma. And they roll a stone. They try to take you out. They try to slander your name. They try to gossip about you. They try to do you in. But they end up doing themselves in. Because guess what? I already put his contact in my phone as rude military guy. Basically indicating not to book this guy ever again in the future. So that's just how it is. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's your boy Big Matt, Chosen One Chats. Hope you have a good one. Peace.